TR 3209. State of Kansas, the last one on the docket, State of Kansas versus Alexis Celandia. No idea, sir. How do you pronounce that? I'm sorry.
Celandia.
Celandia.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
It's all right. Celandia. All right. Mr. Patterson, have you and Mr. Celandia had a chance to speak?
We have, Your Honor, previously on April 7, I'd requested additional video to look at. I've now received that, met with my client and discussed that. I would tell the court at this time, he is getting a drug and alcohol evaluation so that we can enter into a plea and disposition of the case. Would ask the court for additional time to get the drug and alcohol evaluation completed.
Any response, Mr. Regier?
No objection, Your Honor. It would appear that count one of this case is charged under KSA 81567, and I believe the court is well aware of the statutory requirements of pre-sentencing drug and alcohol evaluations in these types of situations.
I am indeed. All right, Mr. Patterson, your request for continuance is granted to September 15th at 8 a.m. Mr. Celandia, your bond is continued. Do not have any alcohol or illegal drugs. If you need an alcohol and drug evaluation, that gives you plenty of time to do it, but do not put it off. I expect you to either be ready for disposition, including sentencing at that time, or we'll have to set this for trial. So if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to squeeze a pro se in here. It looks like it's is this Price? Or is it Kelly?
We could get Dylan Kelly.
Yeah. We are on the record in 24 TR 2040, State of Kansas versus Dylan Kelly. Jared Regier for the state. Dylan Kelly appears in person and pro se. On one count of driving while suspended, after the defendant failed to appear on February 26th, 25, which was after he told me he was applying for diversion on November 13th of 24. So, Mr. Kelly.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you apply for diversion in November of 2024?
I did not, Your Honor. It spaced my mind and I completely forgot along with this whole ordeal.
All right, so are you going to proceed on your own behalf on this driving while suspended charge today?
Absolutely.
All right, you understand you do have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you can apply for court-appointed attorney, as would have been told to you the first time you were here, or you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself today. So how are you proceeding? You said on your own?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone making you give up your right to an attorney and represent yourself?
No, Your Honor.
And you do understand you have the right to an attorney, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and knowing this, you're proceeding on your own behalf. I will have the record reflect that you are knowingly and voluntarily waiving your right to counsel. So for driving while suspended, do you have your license reinstated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Regier, he has waived his right to counsel. He has his license reinstated. Do you want to meet with him for any last minute negotiations or not?
Your Honor, for purposes of resolving the case today, the state is prepared to recommend the statutory minimum fine and non-reporting probation in exchange for a plea today.
Well, how do you want to proceed? Do you want to plead guilty? No contest or not guilty and set this for trial, Mr. Kelly?
Guilty, Your Honor.
By pleading guilty, you're admitting that you did drive while suspended in Butler County on June 1st of 2024?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is anyone making you enter this plea today by any kind of promise or threats?
No, Your Honor.
And do you understand that you're giving up your right to a trial if you enter this plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that you'll be found guilty and unable to appeal your conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and the officer said this happened June 1st, 2024, about 8:15 in the morning. Do you agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it also says you're out on Highway 54 at milepost 228.
Yes.
Were you out on Highway 54?
Yes.
And do you know where this milepost 228 would have been, or approximately where he stopped you?
It's, if I remember correctly, it's right before Indianola Road on Highway 54.
All right, that clearly puts you in Butler County. So I will find jurisdiction in addition to finding that you've knowingly and voluntarily entered the plea to driving while suspended, finding you guilty. Mr. Regier, recommendations.
$100 fine, court cost, 120 days underlying sentence, and 6 months of non-reporting probation, Your Honor. This does appear to be a case where an affidavit from the jail was received indicating that as of February 18, 2025, the defendant failed to report to the Butler County Detention Facility as directed by the court to be processed and released. However, that would appear to be a moot point at this juncture in light of the court's prior finding of the defendant's failure to appear subsequently on February 26, and I am showing an appearance spot in my file for today's date and time.
So we did make the 2,000 with Peterson bail bonds.
That is what my records would appear to reflect, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, Mr. Kelly, you are fined $100 and assessed court costs of $108, so you owe a total of $208. Are you able to pay that today?
Not today, Your Honor. I can get it paid in 2 weeks when I get paid next.
I'll order 30 days from today. You'll also be given a 120-day jail sentence. I will not order you to serve that as long as you successfully complete a 6-month non-reporting probation. You won't have to see a probation officer, but you'll still be on probation for 6 months. You have 2 conditions: violate no laws during this 6 months and pay within 30 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if you don't do that, you can get, if you violate either of those or both of those conditions, you could get your probation revoked and serve 120 days in jail. Or it could go to private collections, or you can get more suspension time on your license that you've gotten back. So, and also be mindful, make sure the Department of Revenue knows where you are, that you have your current address on your license, because they may suspend you or restrict you further for today's conviction. So if they do, make sure you're aware of it. If you drive while suspended again, you're looking at some mandatory jail time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if there's nothing further, you'll be excused, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time.
Okay, the last one I have is Alexander Price.
Okay, looks like we're squeezing another pro se in. We're on the record in 24 TR 2422, State of Kansas.
Well, that took a turn. Judge Webster closed out the docket with a mix of procedural precision and just enough flexibility to keep things moving. First up was Alexis Celandia, whose attorney, Darren Patterson, had been waiting on video evidence, and now just needed time for his client's drug and alcohol evaluation before finalizing a plea. The state didn't object, noting the statutory requirement for that evaluation. So the judge set a firm continuance to September 15th with a clear warning: be ready to resolve it or it's going to trial. Then came Dylan Kelly, representing himself after forgetting to apply for diversion months ago. Judge Webster made sure he understood his right to counsel before accepting a guilty plea to driving while suspended. The state kept it simple: minimum fine, court costs, non-reporting probation, and the judge added her standard 2 conditions: obey the law and pay on time. Kelly promised to pay within 30 days and left with both a lighter wallet and a pointed reminder about what happens if he drives suspended again. The tone stayed brisk but patient throughout, firm guidance for the pro se defendant, practical scheduling for the represented one. As always, Judge Webster balanced keeping the docket efficient with making sure everyone knew exactly where they stood when they left. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.